Hi, this is Michael Louis Trams, the director of Trace's Center for History and Culture, located in Iowa, with its sister organization Spuren e.V. in Turingen, where I live part of the year. You ever been to Europe? A lot of Americans really like Europe. They enjoy being here. They find it fascinating, all the old castles and the museums and the parks and the scenery and the people. But the Europe that we know wouldn't be what it is without the Bastille Day, or what the French call the 14th of July, like we in the United States had the 4th of July. Anyway, what's interesting is that the Europe that we have today is a direct consequence of an event that happened over 200 years ago. According to Wikipedia, it was during the reign of Louis XVI. France faced a major economic crisis. This crisis was caused in part by the cost of intervening in the American Revolution, an American connection, and exacerbated by a regressive system of taxation. On the 5th of May, 1789, the Estates Generales of 1789 convened to deal with this issue, but were held back by archaic protocols and the conservatism of the Second Estate, representing the nobility, who made up less than 2% of France's population. The reason that I'm reading you that is there's always a story behind this story. Today is a French holiday, a national holiday every year. Military parades take place this year without an audience. Jets fly over the French capital, streaming out red, white, and blue smoke or vapors, the same national colors as the United States, again, which France had helped 10 or so years earlier to help overthrow the King of England. So today is the 14th of July. It's a big day for France, for Europe. It's also a big day for me because a month from today, on August 14th, is the first scheduled showing of the Baseum, the mobile exhibit that the Traces Center for History and Culture oversees, and as director, of course, I oversee it. This story has social relevance, public importance, but also has personal importance. We were supposed to actually take the bus out in late February, and we did. Christine and Veronica, later with help from others, prepared the Baseum in a record 28 days or something, and we showed it 5 times. And then I had to fly to Germany because of health reasons, and when I got out of the hospital, President Trump basically closed immigration to the United States to all European nationals. So I've been in Europe the whole time, and we were supposed to be on the road with the bus, but instead I've been here working with Christine and others to advance our tour. Having lost the chance to fly to the United States 3 times, the most recently on July 4th, by coincidence, there were seats available. The flight was canceled because of too few tickets sold for it. I'm still here. I have a new ticket, the 7th of August, and in fact, I've rented a hotel room across the street from the airport in Frankfurt, and I will go the day before. I will show up in the morning on the 7th, and I will stay until I get a flight. They owe me one. And why is this so important? Because we have this mobile exhibit with 5 sub-exhibits, and the topics are extremely relevant at the moment, which we didn't even plan. We had no idea. That when we created Hidden or Forbidden No More, prequels to The Greatest Generation, 1914 and 39, we had no idea, we couldn't know, that there'd be a pandemic. Chronologically speaking, the second exhibit in that series is about the pandemic of 1918, 1919, and there are many takeaways for the current day. Today, not just in the United States, but now again in Europe and other countries, there's economic damage caused by shutdowns, by slowdowns. And in the United States, where I think at the moment we have between 10 and 15% unemployment, depends where you are and who's counting, there are a lot of similarities to the 4th, or is it the 5th of our exhibits? The Cow Wars is the 5th exhibit. Because the Cow Wars in our Baseum talks about the mass unemployment of the Great Depression and farmer desperation, and therefore social unrest in the period. Once again, we're facing the potential of social unrest once unemployment assistance runs out and people don't have a job for the umpteenth week or even month. So 2 of our 5 exhibits became expressly relevant to this current moment without us ever trying and having not expected it. And then with the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis over the Memorial Day weekend. Yet another one of our 5 exhibits, this one called The White Cancer, America's Ku Klux Klan during the so-called second wave of the 1920s. This exhibit also looks at institutionalized and individual hate based on race. And in that exhibit, we talk about the race riots of Chicago and Omaha in 1919, and in 1920, the tragic lynching of 3 African-American circus workers in Duluth, Minnesota, when a blonde girl accused one of them of raping her, which even her doctor could not substantiate and said, I don't see any indication of that. At any rate, this Buseum has these and more stories in it. But with the corona pandemic, it's been arrested. And I, its driver and docent, and the director, have been so stranded in Germany, but there are worse places to be. Because at the moment, we see that there are actually structural problems to how cultures deal with disasters like this corona pandemic. We've seen as Italy and Spain both reeled, and France didn't do a lot better, and Britain has done horribly under the impact of all those infected people, many of whom became sick and many of whom died. Whereas Germany, where I live and teach part of the year, and am now also a citizen, has had much better numbers. Not so many dead per 100 of known infections. Why is that? And I would argue that this has a lot to do with culture. And this is exactly one of the things that we look at in our Buseum, culture. So I will fly to America, and a month from today, we're scheduled to show the bus in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, and then we're planned 2 days to Madison, Wisconsin, to be on the campus of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And then our goal is to go to Milwaukee on Monday the 17th and to be in the largest city in Wisconsin during the Democratic National Convention, and then continue on our way. Our schedule will be always updated on our website, www.traces.org. So all that has public and social implications. But at the moment, I'm thinking about the implications for me. It has been very difficult to sit out what will have been almost 5.5 months of what was supposed to be an 8-month bus tour. Obviously, I feel very passionate about these issues, and it was through conviction and with the help of new friends and colleagues that we built this exhibit. Not being able to take the bus out has been painful, confusing, disorienting, and depressing, frankly. And now I feel compelled to go back because the importance and the uniqueness of the exhibits and what they have to say to this moment. I'm well aware that there are states that are reeling with another spike of infections and hospitalizations. I know that. I'm not callous to that, and I'm humbled by that. I've got respect for this virus. I'm not going to play with it. And at the same time, doesn't social life have to continue? Doesn't the cultural and political life of a nation have to continue somehow? In the United States, we have an election coming up in just a few months, early November. I feel that if things are going to change, they have to change soon. We can't put off deep structural changes for a year, 2, or 5. This is the moment. We've seen all the people marching the streets for social justice, for equal rights for people who are not white. But it's got to go beyond that. And if we don't take a chance, if we don't stand out, if we don't speak up, what's going to change? I'm not sure that much will change at all. So I have set the time aside. I have the bus. We have volunteers. We have some hosts. This is the time for me to go back to the United States. I don't do it lightheartedly. I'm well aware that some places are reinstituting slowdowns or shutdowns to the economy. Today, the governor of California, Newsom, announced closing of indoor restaurants, amusement parks, things like that. I understand all that. We have retrofitted the bus over the last couple of months so that all the internal panels can be brought outside, can be placed into railings, that people can view them safely on 3 sides of the bus, observing social distancing. All of our exhibit text and many of the images are now online. Our exhibit catalog is available at Amazon and at our website. And also, the structure's been changed, not to give programs inside in auditoriums with woven chairs and carpeting, but rather outside where the people sit 1.5 meters from each other, 2 arms length, and we'll do programming outside with air flowing around and with people scattered out. But we feel the need to do something. Maybe others have a better idea of what that could be. For us, this is what we can do. We have a forum, really we have a platform, a bus floor on wheels, that we could go from city to city, from town to town, and bring people together, those who are willing, with masks on, and to talk to each other, but also, maybe even more importantly, to listen to each other. Because there's been a great divide that's kept our population apart for too many years. What's happening now has to do with all of us. We're all in this together. Each one has to do her or his part to find a solution. We have to live together better. We have to find a way forward. We have to take care of those who are weakest among us. We have to pull back those among the most powerful of us, that they don't abuse their power and privilege and ability to influence. We have to reinforce democracy and basically to reclaim it, to say this is what we believe in. So I'll do my part. A month from today, per plan, you'll find me with the bus, showing an exhibit, talking to other Midwesterners about the past and the lessons that it holds for us for the present. Hope you'll join us, either there, if you're in the Midwest, or at other places where we'll be going, or virtually. I intend to film little films once in a while, again and again, and post them here, that people might partake. Feel free to send me your questions, your comments. I know I'm supposed to say this. I hate to say it, but I'll say it. If you click subscribe and like, that'll help bring us to other people easily and for free. So thanks for your interest. Stay tuned. I'm about to play an hour-long interview filmed earlier today with Mark Helfsmeet. He's a Quaker radio program and personage up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I've known Mark for 35, if not more years. I'm gratified. We've both become grayer and a little bit rounder, especially with Corona, but we're still here, and we're doing what we can to make a difference. What can you do? All right, please stay tuned. I'll post that in a moment. Enjoy, and let us know how we can help. Thanks.